Food addict Louise and meal skipper Josh have checked into the feeding clinic to conquer their battles with food. It's the first dinner of the diet swap, and it's Louise's twice-weekly 5-courser of bread and pâté, roast dinner, cheese, biscuits and grapes, jam, roly-poly and custard, coffee and chocolates versus Josh's half a tin of bangers and beans.
Apologies.
Why?
Because that's not very much and this is. So would you cook this yourself then?
I do, yeah. I like to cook roast dinner. I like to sit socially with my family and have meals. And we can eat for 3, 4, 5 hours.
It is quite daunting to look at. Because I live in a flat and I don't live with my mum anymore, I've not had a roast dinner in a very, very long time.
Josh is still eating the starter, but Louise is finished. Her bowl empty. All Louise can do is watch.
I really don't think I'll be able to finish all of this. Very, very full. It's making me sweat.
Josh finishes the main course, but leaves his 4 other courses and instead has his usual meal-replacing cigarette.
Dr. Christian gave me some rules to follow. One thing, I have to quit smoking. I do feel actually quite pleased that he has asked me to quit. I can cut down slowly. So I am quite optimistic about this, yeah.
But as Josh appeases his addiction, going cold turkey is proving tough for foodaholic Louise.
It's a lot to take in, an awful lot. Just not being able to go to the fridge or go to the... Yeah, it'll be all right. I'm doing it for a reason.
It's the next morning, and Josh and Louise are facing day 2 with trepidation.
I don't think Louise will be happy about how much she has to eat today.
My worst nightmare would be no food at all.
She spoke too soon. Poor Louise gets nothing in exchange for her supersize breakfast fry-up, and nothing again for her bumper baguette lunch.
I don't know how you do it. That breakfast properly filled me up.
Josh may be bursting, but after 18 hours without food, Louise is running on empty.
Me not very happy, but hey-ho.
Louise is now ravenous and has to prepare yet another snack for Josh.
I'm making Josh a peanut butter sandwich. One of my favourite things. Lashings of butter, peanut butter mixed in with it. Oh, I could eat it right now. Oh. Sorry, I took it out again. I want to lick my fingers and I can't. It's like...
To take their minds off food, Louise and Josh take a walk down memory lane. Will looking through their pasts help pinpoint where their problems with food began?
At what point in your life did you stop eating for 2 or 3 days? Because I just can't get my head around that.
It was probably around this point where it first started. I'm 19 years old. It was the end of the month when I was waiting for a couple of days to be paid, and I didn't have any money left and I didn't have any food in. I'd just not eat. And if I didn't have anything to eat, I'd just have a cigarette.
How much did you weigh around that time?
Around about 8 stone, 8.5 stone.
But Josh hasn't always been underweight.
You can see from this one that my face is quite chubby, it's quite chunky, got nice round cheeks and everything. Here, I'm about 14. My face is starting to look a little bit paler and a little bit skinnier. And
so what was going on here with food and your life? And...
Well, that was when I was in high school. In high school, I wouldn't have breakfast. I'd get up at 8 o'clock in the morning and I'd make my lunch for school.
So your mum wouldn't make your lunch for you?
No, because of the fact that I wanted independence from an early age, I wouldn't want to put on them.
See, that's a really early age to have to decide yourself when you're going to be eating and what you're going to be eating. If your mother were to give you breakfast and give you dinner and give you all the meals that you should have had at that age.
From this point, we always had dinner together, up until this point.
That's just dinner, though. That's only 1 meal a day. And you're here, and now you're here just having dinner. You're not helping yourself, and you're not letting anybody else help you either.
No.
From that age.
It was quite surreal to look at the timeline of my life and see where this had actually come to, because It actually started a lot sooner than I thought it had.
Skipping meals at school age sparked Josh's problems. But did Louise's overeating start as young?
So how much did you weigh when you were a kid?
Oh, I certainly wasn't overweight. I was about 6 on this one. This picture here, I was around 14. These ones were when I was at my slimmest, when I was around 24.
So when did you start to be a little bit worried about your weight?
I was in a relationship with a person that wasn't particularly nice. He used to call me fat and ugly. I was actually on holiday with him there. As you can see that photograph, he's actually been ripped off it. My self-esteem was so low and my confidence was not that much, so I left him and then I started to comfort eat. I think I probably put on about 4 stone in a year. When I left him, I was at my lowest and food was my comfort, and that's what I'd done. And I believe that it's comforted me all through the rest of my life. Although my life is all right now, I don't think I've ever got over this bit.
You've got so much going for you now, you can't let that hang over you for the rest of your life. And if you do, you won't stop eating.
It's just nice to hear someone say that it's not actually my fault, because all these years I blamed myself. I've got this relationship now, and he's a million times better than this person.
An emotional past triggered Louise's overeating, but Dr. Christian's hoping an insight into her possible future might help her stop.
I think you're doing really well thinking about the emotional reasons why you eat. And I've got something that I want you to watch now that I think will just take that a step further.
My name is Karen Ferguson. I'm 56 years old, and I'm 41 stone. Food means everything to me, but it's also been a curse to me. It has gotten me into a nursing rehabilitation home. Because I can't go to the restroom on my own, I have to wear a diaper all the time. Someone changes it several times a day. I can't even reach to wipe myself. I have to get other people to do that for me. Because of my size, I hold a lot of moisture under where you're big. So under your breast, under your belly, it causes yeast infections. It gets real red and inflamed and burns and itches and has an odor to it. I have high blood pressure and diabetes and pulmonary artery disease. The majority of my weight did come on from an abusive relationship. He would tell me how ugly I was and how stupid I was and that nobody else would have me, nobody else would want me, and I believed it. I got a lot of comfort out of the foods I was eating. You know, it was like very aggressive eating. At 42, I was on my way to work and had a heart attack. My children are growing up without me, and I have a lot of grandchildren, and they're all ages. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get out of this wheelchair in order to go back home. I have no idea what's gonna happen. Louise, I understand that you're going through what I've been going through for years, but you've got a little boy to think about, and you've got a life that's valuable. Start getting this weight off now before it's too late.
Wow. Exactly the same story as you.
If I don't do something about it, that'll be me in another few years. I don't want to be like that. I don't want Taylor to come and see me in a nursing home like that. I don't want my husband to help me wash, and I mean, it's getting to the point now where he helps me put my shoes on.
I'm going to fly you out to America to meet her and to spend some time with her. And I think it's going to be really good for you.
Thank you.
I think it's going to be very, very difficult, but so important.
I just don't want Taylor to see me like that. He's called me fat before now, so I can't imagine. He'll never call me that again, ever. So that's it. Yeah.
What a beautiful day.
It's the third morning in the feeding clinic, and thanks to Josh's meagre diet, Louise has now gone without breakfast, lunch and dinner for 36 hours.
I've got a headache, I'm shaky, I didn't sleep very well. I want to tell him how bad it's getting and how frustrating it is.
Morning, Louise.
Good morning, Josh.
At home, Josh doesn't get up till 3 p.m. and is oblivious to breakfast. So unfortunately for Louise, she swaps a sausage sarnie for her second barren breakfast.
It's been 36 hours now since I've eaten, and I've still not got anything in front of me. I feel very irritable, grumpy. I don't want to do anything. Does it ring any bells?
As a general rule, yeah, but I just thought that's because that was what my personality was like.
How are you feeling this morning?
I've woken up with the feeling that I don't have an appetite and all I want is a cigarette.
You know, you had one yesterday, and I just think maybe today we should just try and
not
see
smoke.
and not smoke and see what happens.
I really do want to smoke today, so I reckon today's going to be a hard day.
Fags may be off Josh's lunchtime menu, but finally, after 42 hours, Louise gets something to eat.
That's your lunch.
I don't think I can go another couple of hours without any food, and especially just that.
So it's sweets versus a chicken burger, chips, Coke, and extra fried chicken.
Alright, so why is it that you're crying?
Why? Why do you think I'm crying? Because my body's just shut. It's just not functioning properly. You've got to start eating properly. You can't live on that. Sooner not eat it. I would sooner not eat it. I honestly can't work Josh out at the moment. I don't think it's about him not loving food, because I think he likes food. You eat most things. It's not like you're not eating it, isn't it? Is it? So why have that?
Because that's cheap. And it's
Don't buy a packet of cigarettes then.